June 8th, 2025. Yesterday, with the last video I did, people realized this is Bill from the Freemason scam into the drug cartel. How they're laughing about it up in Summit Mall, how he fooled everybody. May 25th, 25. Teenagers in Hollister's cackling. Boy, did Bill from the Freemasons run the biggest scam here. Had some guy go in and tape her in the shower and washing herself. Can you imagine having somebody tape you washing yourself in the shower and Photoshop that in the other room? Okay. Had some other guy go in and drug her up and tell her to say that. Can you imagine drugging somebody up and tell them to say something like that? Then ran a contest off of it. Who could steal all her money with the biggest scam? And scammed everybody into helping out. He ran the biggest scam here. Okay? Well, people realized it was his initiation into the drug cartel, where they said it April 24th, 25 in Summit Mall. You tell that guy, well, up there, he had to be able to pull off a scam here to join us. That's all ruined because Michelle told on him that doctor from before was never one of hers. He works for them and they lied. She ruined everything you tell them we said take care of her. Well, it's been the whole talk. They're threatening Michelle. That other cartel was a Texas group up there. Muslim women in hijabs, Iraqi guys, other people speaking other languages walking around us. Girls from the cartel laughing how Michelle told them for the doctor from before and was never one of mine. He works for them and they lied. They're laughing about it. Well, it's a big joke up there. And everybody talking. Is that other cartel crazy threatening Michelle? That other cartel get him. I mean, this has been big talk since April. I go up there, that's all they talk about. Bill's big scam. Okay? Well, yesterday we went, my husband and I went to Golden Corral and to have lunch. And people were coming in. We heard them mocking everybody for falling for this here. In other towns, they're making fun of all of us. And then other ones, we all know they couldn't hire a doctor to evaluate her on their own, and she's never met him. Oh, that's a big jail sentence. Cool. Well, where these idiot people fall for that church telling people that I threatened them in 22 years. 22 years. I've only went over there twice in 2010 to find out why they're making stuff up on me while I was going to Blaylock's to find out what on earth. And nobody would say anything, so I didn't go back. I want you to think about that. It was like 2010, 2011. 2 services. I don't have their phone numbers. I don't have their addresses. I don't associate with those people. They pushed my kid to suicide, drove my mom out of state. Had nothing to do with those people. And then they had Dave come home and assault me, but real bad. And I didn't know why. And he got mad enough over a little while of time. He quit his church. And he didn't even have association to that church for 6 to 7 years. before the case started. He wasn't even a member over there. Get the idea? It had been 15 years since I was a member, and I wanted nothing to do with them. They pushed my son to suicide and drove my mom out of town. Got it? Get an idea? Think. Can't threaten people you don't have nothing to do with. I told you how the medication error. Tell you what, some guy on June 7th, middle of the night, some guy's outside where I'm working, went to Dr. Haben's office. Her kid's his pediatrician. He said there was never any sign of abuse or mistreatment. The kids were well taken care of. The last time he seen her, she was in an immense amount of pain. We all know they taped John defending her and saying no one could say a bad word about her. They taped him saying that nobody could say anything bad about her. Thanksgiving of 18. FBI case. And I asked him what's going on. I don't know, Mom. He said, I told Melissa, you're going to be moving out, going through a divorce. But don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. It'll just be made up because of the divorce. She'll the kids make up something. And she'll probably have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it, Mom. No one could ever say anything bad about you. It'll be just made up because of the divorce or you're moving out. It's like you shouldn't have said anything until it happened, but I did. And since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. And he shoots me. What did his kids get taped in the basement saying? That everybody knows? They wanted the house, for the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Grandma needs to get out. Then what else they get taped later on to Flora? They were making everything up and they were games of pretend and sex shit, I found out. And they were laughing. Like Officer John, January 12th, 22, men came in at Walgreens North Main and got in their face. They said, what did those kids get taped stating? They made everything up. They also have Melissa telling the kids to lie, friends with Dave's girlfriend, and the kids laughing and joking in the basement. That's why Flora, October 23rd, 2019, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games up or 10. I didn't know what to force me. See what I mean? That's why we're the investigators. Karen's family ought to be ashamed of themselves. Ashamed. She's risking her life to get information on these people to save everybody. She's almost died. And they're sitting around laughing, making up stuff. They ought to be ashamed. After Thanksgiving of 18, I went to Dave and I taped him. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. At least in FBI taped him too. So, the police and the FBI, because they already sold the login to the case. Had a huddle, don't matter anymore. Had a huddle in the front of Walmart. Why are they having those kids make that shit up? Well, they're just trying to scare her into giving up the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. Oh, and where Bill from the Freemasons tells everybody he's Karen's will. He is not my will. They told people years ago, Karen's will is actually a group of investigators working her case. That's where we have Officer Mark. The one I call Officer John. Well, I go into Walmart. They say John's here to take care of Karen. I look over and he says something really nice. I thought his name was John. So I found out he's a federal agent. He's an FBI agent. The two that remind you of my son Joshy, they work in the Belden office. Seen them, they walked by me when I went in there in 22. So they'll never, ever address what they did to her before. I know, come on. And they walked in the back. I thought you were cops or feds. Bet Mark is too. For Karen's will is a group of investigators that work her case. Agent John. Now, where that guy was outside my client's, went to Dr. Haben's office. He said there was never any signs or any kind of abuse or mistreated treatment on those children. They were very well taken care of. And we already know they taped John saying no one could ever say anything bad about her. We all know that. They also have those kids saying that other stuff. They were making everything up. They were games of pretend. And they wanted Auntie Sean Papa to get the house. They have Melissa tape telling them why. The cops and everybody already have told everybody that. Do you know the original investigators, they were even talking to other investigators last year? Those kids told the original investigators that the only reason they didn't like her, she told them to take 2 bites out of their food. They'd come in and they'd want a whole plate of food. I mean, a huge plate of food. And then look at me. Now you can throw it away. There goes the servant. They come in. We want a piece of chicken. We want a hamburger. We want this. And then want the plate full. We want this side, this side. And once you got it full, now you can throw it away. Don't even try it. It's like you can take 2 bites out of it. Do you realize how rude that is? My grandmother would have said, you sit your little butt in that chair till you finish that plate. I don't care if it's your breakfast. You don't sass me like that. My grandmother, you did not smart off to that woman. I just told him, you asked for all that food, you take 2 bites before you go play. They would want you to wait on them, just to wait on them like you're a servant. Yeah, they told them. They announced, the guy was talking about the original investigators. The only reason those kids didn't like her is because she told them to take 2 bites out of their food after they asked for it. Dave and I talk about it on tape of them saying that. They asked for a whole big plate of food like a guy. And they went, now you can throw it away. Once you serve them, you want this, you want this, set it down, now you can throw it away. You can take 2 bites. Then you can go play. This is why we don't like you. Spoiled. I would have had a handprint across my face, and I would have been sitting in that chair till I finished my food, and then I would have went to my room. I ever talked to my grandmother like that? I just told them literally, they would want a piece of chicken, a hamburger, sometimes a hot dog, bunch of sides, fill up a whole plate. And as soon as you got them everything they want on the plate, set it down in front of them, now you can throw it away. That's just rude. It's like take 2 bites out of it and go play. Not until you do. Okay. Now, I want you to think. That's where yesterday, even Danny, his neighbor, was talking. She's not been associated to these people in 22 years. And they're running around that church saying stuff about her. Oh, they were talking about Lions, too. She hadn't had anything to do with those people in 22 years. Except for those 2 services I went over with Dave just to see if somebody come up and say something. They didn't. They just stared at me. I'm like, what? See, I didn't realize they were playing a game of where we were at Pamers. There was a handful of people that used to go to Lighthouse, but just a handful of time. Hi, how are you? How's your kids? How are your grandkids? And walk on. Okay? The ones at Pamers snubbed us. Couldn't figure out why. Here, Dave's some cheating playboy. And the religious people didn't want anything to do with this adulterous man cheating on his wife, and his wife don't know. So they didn't talk to us. They were telling people I threatened, I was mean to him, and then I didn't see him, didn't associate with him, didn't talk to him, didn't know. They're lying behind my back. And he was telling people he was making it up to them. They're scammed to do open adultery. I was talking to some girl that did my nails. She's like, they're godless doing that. It's what the investigators call them. The people that did this to her are godless. They just have long hair and a long skirt. It's just a costume they put on. They don't have any God in their heart. There's no love. There's no kindness. No goodness. There's lies, murder, trying to steal. See, that's where Bill from the Freemasons told people. I heard him last year mention it, and then lately. He's telling people there's endless amount of money to steal. There's nothing. Nothing. He's scamming everybody that they can steal endless amount of money, and there's nothing. Think about this. That's why he scammed all these people into helping out. Then found out they were trying to say an attorney's office did it. And they were the ones paying for everything. And found out it was Bill from the Freemasons. He had got caught being confronted that he paid for everything, and he's an ugly man. And I'm sorry, he is. I told you, people were saying everything about Bill paying for everything. I went to church, January to May 19, on Sunday morning before 10. I went down there early. Had to use the bathroom, so I went to McDonald's, went to get something to drink. Seen the Freemasons plates pulling. I thought, they're going to come in and say something horrible. So I braced myself and looked down for the men walk in. They went, Bill, you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I look over. He's not a handsome man. And I looked away and laughed. Thought, you're the one? 50, 60-year-old man, white fluffy hair. Not a handsome man, what I see. Oh, they said that they got a super handsome man. And that's a front saying he's doing it. So people will help out. They found out it's some ugly guy. Paying for all this. It's his scam into the cartel. That's why all the cartels helped. Had to be able to pull off a big scam here. Now, I want you to think. I told you what happened to my son, Danny, when Linda was following him and Katie. How the next service, stranger took him and pushed him to suicide. Okay? And it's documented in Stark County in December of '03, beginning of January, February of '04. He was treated for post-traumatic syndrome, and he told Georgine Vovuso, Linda, a Stark County psychiatrist for the Child and Adolescent Center and the Crisis Center. Strange took him that day. Wouldn't let him leave. Starved him all day. Screamed at him on the pulpit till he passed out. Screamed at him till he did what he was told. He couldn't remember half the day. And that's why he tried to kill himself twice. He was seen for post-traumatic syndrome. He became bulimic, got down to 118 pounds, being 6 foot tall. He has dyslexia and ADHD. Had to get tutors, I had to get babysitters so I could go out and work to pay for the medication and the counseling. And where Georgina called Dave and asked him his participation in that minister taking Danny, pushing him to suicide. He said, I wouldn't talk to you without an attorney. He said, well, put it this way. One thing happens to your wife or Danny, the next 20 years, I'll put you in jail myself. They back way off. Found out that bastard actually ordered my death and destruction back then. They planned it for 15 years. September 1824, 8:30 in the morning, investigators telling my clients, next door neighbors, how he went and talked to them. And they told him when Strange thought I was following Tim and Katie, he ordered my death. And if I didn't die, to make sure I was destroyed, and I got nothing. And nobody was allowed to say or do a thing till Dave said he wanted a divorce, and then they were to take care of it. And they planned this for 15 years before they did it. Now I want you to think about that, where they took my kid and pushed him to suicide. Then they started nailing my mom's tires till she moved away in '03. Did a police report. Do you think I had anything to do with those people? Nothing. Nothing. Okay? And then I told you, in 2010, I started going down to Blanks. People start making up stuff. And that's when I go over there, asked Dave if I could go over there twice. I thought somebody will come out and say something. No, they stared at me like this. Like it was like, what? You know, I just look at them. I didn't go back. In August of 2003, Danny's kids were toddlers. They were, 2 or 3 years old? They were born in '07. Danny they both worked at a restaurant, and they would get home in the evening about 9, 10 o'clock some nights. Okay? Waiting for Dave to come home from church. They come pick up the twins and Gabe. I'm laying there watching TV in bed. They picked up all 3 kids. They left. Last hour before he gets home, I'm relaxing. Just got rid of 3 kids. Watching TV. He comes in from church, gets undressed, gets in bed, starts to make love to me. Says I can't stand this. I started to cry. Rolled over my stomach. You know what he did? He jumped on my back. Started butt raping me. Ran me front and back, and I'm screaming, God, stop. And he got my head pinned into my pillow, and I'm screaming rivers of tears as he's butt raping me. And I'm screaming, stop. And time I break loose from him, I'm bleeding down my leg. Run downstairs to the bottom shower. I collapse. Blood all over the shower. Took me a long time to get it quit bleeding. I come upstairs. rivers of tears. Why? Why? You'll learn to keep your filthy mouth shut. I said, Dan and Jen just left the kids an hour ago. I've been waiting for you to get home. What are you talking about? You look like you was going to puke. I said, I've just been sitting here waiting. Someone lied to him. Came over and did that. My insides got infected. I ended up in Maslin Hospital emergency room. They said I was ripped 3rd and 4th level. Tears. They gave me Vicodins for pain. Antibiotics and antibiotic cream. Somebody lied to him, and I didn't even know who it was. And he came home and did that to me. He started calling off church. Going in, telling me he didn't feel good. It took him months. And then he quit. They lied to him. And he assaulted me like that. He hadn't even been part of that church for 6 to 7 years when the case started. We had nothing to do with them. Ever. Now you think about their mean game. Do you realize where he come home and he just beat on me and I thought he had a bad day for no reason? It was probably for an entertainment of some other woman. There's a sick game of saying I threatened him and I didn't know he was dating them. I didn't even know who it was. And he'd just come in and beat on me where I said he beat on me randomly. Then be sorry for a year. It was for entertainment of a woman. How sick that was. Now, those people running around saying I threatened them, common sense. She doesn't go to your church. When was the last time she went to your church? 03. It's 18. She wouldn't have your phone number or address. She don't see her. Where would she threaten you? It wouldn't. Common sense, they were lying. Now it's been 22 years. That's where even Danny's neighbor, we found out she hasn't been a member of that church in 22 years, and they're running around saying stuff about her. You know. See, they're godless. It's an occult. A severe one. Got messed up in the cartel. Dangerous. Occult. And a cartel. People were... Well, they said Dave hired 2 men. And they act like one's an attorney and one's a doctor. Messed up in the cartel. Then we got Bill from the Freemason running a scam with them. The go in. Now, see, think about their scam. It's so dumb. It's so illegal. It's ridiculous. They try to blame the Portage County sheriffs. I went in and they were like, Miss Hall, there was none of our officers in your home before. We weren't in your home or anybody else's home outside a protected custody case with statements. I said, with statements? He said, yes. He said, that would be illegal. I said, it's the 4th Amendment in the Constitution. Yes. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. Yes. He said, and what these people are saying they did is illegal. And we had no knowledge of it. Where they tell people they had special permission, they had no knowledge of it. They lied. I told them about they're laughing at me in stores in front of people. They put a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird. That's illegal. I said I'd never seen or talked to anybody. I'd take a drink in the room and go dizzy and black. Wake up with injection marks, had marks all over me. Had to be seen by the doctor for throwing up, headache, severe infection, and I was blaming the well water that it was making me sick, just washing in it and showering. And here they're saying they have sodium pentothal reports, and they have drugged me up and told me to say stuff. He said that's illegal. Everything these people did is illegal, and we had no knowledge of it. Nor were we part of it. Get the idea. Get it? It wasn't them. And they didn't know. Where these people lie so bad. Oh, they all verified it. So, we're going to get everything. Nobody verified your shit. What are you going to verify? You're part of a drug scam? You're going to go to jail as an accessory? What are they going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? Verify you're part of a drug scam? That's it. See, they told people my son Danny reported the tape of Weird with Yourself, the shower scene in the other room. He didn't know about it. He didn't know Pete, where he finally had to go to his dad, where I've been asking him questions. Did you know about body cameras? Did you know about a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird? No. Do you remember the orange, lemon, grapefruit sized bruises all over me, throwing up and almost passing out in front of people? Yes. Did you know they were drugging, beating me, and telling me to say weirdo stuff? They're laughing at me in front of people in stores. They photoshopped a shower scene? No. April 16, 23. Heard Danny across the parking lot. I finally went to Dad, asked him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It's Pete and his men in a room. Pete has her frame. Pete has her tape. Da-da-da-da. The filthy, dirty statement. Put a name on it. Where they already admitted years ago they drugged me and told me to say it. Put a name on it. He didn't know. He didn't report it. He didn't know about it. He didn't know about anything. They lied. It's a theme. It's the dumb people that lied. Just like where Michelle told on a federal agent, March 27, 25, that the reason I don't know who that doctor is, he's not one of mine. He works for them. And they had lied he was one of my doctors. And I don't know who it is. And that when they bashed my head in, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. And he had got it out of Dave. That his girlfriend from before me made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory. And she'd have free insurance to use because you didn't show ID back then. And so she could have extra money. My whole marriage was a scam. The other woman that used all my insurance ran up half my medical records are hers, or it's Dave's girlfriend for 15 years. She stuck me with copays. Oh, some other lady stole your ID. No, it's his girlfriend. Now I want you to think how sick all this is. And then Bill's big scam, where April 24, 25. You tell that guy Will he was to pull off a scam here to join us and tell him it's all wrong. Michelle told him that doctor from before was never one of hers, but works for them, and they had lied he was one of her doctors. He was yelling at Summit Mall. Will you tell him to take care of Michelle? We said to the Texas group. Okay? That's where everybody I go up there, they've all been talking about. That other cartel crazy threatening Michelle? The other cartel will take care of him. For her telling on him that doctor from before was not one of hers but works for them and they lied. Told you. That's where people are laughing about it now. How up in Fairlawn, how this is Bill's big scam to get in the cartel. Now think about this. Fourth Amendment. Nobody can be in your home. But police and agencies under a threat of life with statements, a quarter, without a conflict of interest. Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. Nobody can touch you unless you want them to. It's assault. We all know that. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Home can't be violated. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause, warranted court order. With oath or affirmation of people, places, or things to be searched or seized. Now that's just a search warrant. Have to have a court order. Because you have the right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements, with a court order, without a conflict of interest. Now, could Dave hire some guy named Pete on his own? No. Could an attorney and a doctor friend run a drug scam for Bill from the Freemasons? No. Now, it's right on Google. It is illegal for a doctor to treat you without your signed consent. It's medical negligence, medical malpractice. It's a 10-year sentence. If they touch you, it's assault and battery. It can be 20. Get the idea how much they're lying to you? We all know, because of that only a judge during a jury trial can order a competency hearing. When you show up to it, do you have to talk to him? No. You have a right to have an attorney next to you. You can sit and play on your phone, but it's court ordered, you have to be there. You don't even have to look at him. You just have to show up. Learn your rights. It is right on Google. Because of HIPAA and Privacy Acts, doctors, it is illegal for any doctor to tape you unaware. It is illegal for somebody to set up button cameras and listening devices in your home. It's cyber stalking. Felony invasion of privacy. Now, we all know. We all have cell phones anymore. You can go out, you can tape an event, put up on Facebook, YouTube. Do we need somebody's permission? No. It's the United States of America. Do what we damn well please, as long as we don't interfere in somebody else's rights or harm them. You can tape family get-togethers, birthday parties. Put that up. You're out in the park. Tape you and your kids playing kickball. Somebody walks by, it's your own damn fault. Right? Well, it is also a one-party conversation only during the conversation, because like parties, events, you're sitting talking to somebody, family get-togethers, you never record on your phone, as long as you didn't do anything to the other person. It is legal to tape just a conversation with your phone. That's about it. Ohio is a one-party consent, because you can tape parties, you can tape events, family get-togethers. If you're just doing a conversation, you can hit record on your phone. It is very legal. Only during the conversation. You didn't do anything to the other person. Okay? And what you do with it is your own damn business. It's like taping a family get-together and putting it up on YouTube. Kids having water balloon fights at the party. Adults doing it, acting silly. Right? See, but these people are dumb. And they're trying to, where they said last year they were going to try to trick, they were going to get my kids arrested. And they were going to trick them to be arrested. Leave Dixie alone. She's dumb. Leave the dumb girl alone. They told Dixie that where Melissa's kids are documented in games of pretend. Okay? They told Flora they were games of pretend that Flora was laughing about. Okay? In front of a bunch of adults. That's how I found out. Because the cops wouldn't tell me. Melissa's so stupid she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. And they told me a couple of those stupid lies. But they said they'd only make up something and call you a bad word. The other stuff they told people I vandalized their church. I wouldn't touch that place with a 10-foot pole. They told people that they never came upstairs on the 4th of July after they ran the basement for pillow fights. And me and John went outside with everybody else. When we walked in, they left through the basement door. They were only there less than an hour, and I only seen them at the table. Took 2 bites around the basement, and they're having pillow fights. And we walked outside. You could hear them laughing outside. I was outside with John, Dave, Noah, and Gabe. We got too warm. We went inside. The split level. You either go upstairs or downstairs. When upstairs got dessert, Dave came in and said, John left. I said he didn't say goodbye. He's in a hurry. They just started their divorce. They had went to a park, he said, before they got there, and that's why they were an hour late letting the kids play. They came in, they sat down on the couch. I took everybody's picture, sitting on the couch, heated up their food, took 2 bites, ran to the basement. We grabbed bottles of water and walked outside. John, Dave, and Nora is playing catch. Jen and I are talking about our new retirement home. And Gabe's riding around on a lawnmower. We got too warm, went inside, they left through the basement. They weren't even there an hour. Only seen them for the 2 minutes at the table. They told people they came upstairs, looked through a crack in a bathroom door. That makes you a pervert. You're a peeking Tom. Somebody's wiping their mouth. You're supposed to be weird with yourself. That never happened. I was outside the whole time. You could be putting yeast infection cream on. And you're being a pervert peeking Tom at somebody taking care of their butt? That makes you dirty. Then how she was supposed to be in it with the guy that said he drugged me up for Dave, used sodium pentothal on me, told me that he told me to wear some nightgown, bent over and properly accidentally seen your butt, a life of pain. Got away from that freak. He showed up the first month, how he'd stab me in my sleep in front of the cops and vets and drug me up and told me to say that. Had Dave debunk it. His dress mostly, and then only made fun of the back of my knees. And then they told people I'd broken a home. The owners caught me. They tied my arms and legs to a chair, knocked it over, kicked it over, jumped out a window. I'm in my 50s, and I was 200 pounds. Wouldn't fit through a window. And I would hurt myself. I'm no spring chicken. And then they told people I shot up a home and killed someone. That's Dave. And they'll make up something, call you a bad word. Fucking shit. My family should be ashamed of me jokes. The shit was flying till you had to get the hip boots out. And until Flora stated October 23rd, 2019 at BB's party, when I said, do you know how mad I was when they said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa? Flora's like, that's not what they said. They said this. And it was filthy. I didn't know. Josh was like, ooh, don't say that again. It's not true. She's like, of course it's not true. Of course it never happened. We made it up. They were games of pretend. Laughing. Sat down next to me. They better thank God I'm not their mother. They would have got a spanking and they would have wrote 100 times, I'll never lie again. See, I only seen John's kids on the holidays. It wasn't like Danny and Jen and Josh bringing the kids over all the time. Danny didn't live a mile away. Josh didn't live 3. They lived, 15 miles away? They had their careers. They had their families. They had their friends. And when they didn't go to church, they went drinking a lot. Had cookouts. With their friends, they went to bars. Huh? I seen them on the holidays, if I was lucky. See, that's where before Thanksgiving of 18, I didn't see them till the 4th. Before that was inside Walmart when we were buying curtains for the basement. They come running at us. Grandma Popo, what you doing here? Buying curtains. What are you doing? I don't know. Moment time past each other. Before that was at when we were dropping off John's stuff and Melissa came out. Hi, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm dropping off John's stuff. Oh, put it against the house. Before that was a Christmas with the Mikes. Our whole family was there. Before that was it October, November at Fulton Dairy Queen? We all met there for them to tell us what they wanted for Christmas. Had ice cream and sandwiches, and they gave us their Christmas list. Before that was my 50th birthday. And Melissa sat next to me. And they were an hour late to that one, too. The kids had relay races, and everybody was there. See what I mean? We're clear back into 17. See, I hardly ever seen these kids. That's why I didn't know. You want me to go back further? I mean, Mother's Day, they dropped off a plant of 17. There for about 5 minutes. Then we go back to the Christmas with the teddy bears. Want to keep going back? See, I didn't see him over the years, not a handful of times, not alone. See what I mean? And over that year, because we were renovating one house, fixed it up, sold it, bought another house, fixing that one up. Really didn't see anybody. Danny and Jen would always bring the kids around because they always did. And Josh worked on the house and I paid him to. See, that's where John and Melissa had their careers, had their own friends, her family. We only seen them on the holidays. They were successful and self-sufficient. See what I mean? See, they thought they fooled that agent and he left. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere. He opened a real case with statements. Oh, yesterday, someone pulled in to McDonald's behind me and said, Agent John didn't pay her. Is that what's going on? No, he didn't. Like the prosecutor's office, he cannot withhold your money, cannot misdirect it, he can't put stipulations on it. And then, like they said, April 1925 at Hartville Flea Market, where they had already got Michelle's confession to an agent, and then she said it again in Sheet's parking lot. Got her under police surveillance. Okay? FBI shows up. How dumb are these people? You wouldn't believe how dumb they are trying this with us. She calls FBI hotline for help. They immediately walk in an FBI office and admit they're illegally monitoring her on their own. That's cyber stalking. If the cartel wasn't involved, you would have went to jail right away. It's like 12 to 15 years, by the way. And trust me, nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam. Tape you unaware before confessing of crimes. Sit on it till Dave wanted a divorce. That's a crime in itself. It's illegal for doctors to tape you unaware because they have been privacy acts. They cannot discuss what you said to them, what they've seen you for. Nothing. Without your consent. They go to jail if they do. And $1.5 million fine. By the way, dirty doctor. And it sounded mechanical. We knew they altered everything. It was them and not you. Couldn't believe they tried that with us. And that we tape a weird with yourself, we know is photoshopped to washing yourself in the shower. They photoshopped everything. So we told Agent John to go tell on her to that other church before he talked to her. Find out who was all involved. And we told him to act dumb like these people. See where they say Karen's Will is a group of investigators? So those two agents out in Beld. Officer Mark, Officer John. They said Officer John's a Fed. His name ain't John. But they knew who I'm talking about. Okay? Then we got Agent John, those two ladies. It's a group of investigators. Karen's Will is a group of investigators that work her case. Did you not hear them over the air? I'm Karen's Will for today. I'm assigned her. It's a group of investigators. It's not a person. Bill from the Freemasons told people he was the agent over my case. He's not even an agent. He lied. They said that they had some real handsome man was having people do it to him. And they found out it was that ugly guy, Bill. He's the one paying for it. They try to say some attorney's office. Oh, God. Name of attorney's office. I own you. Having me drug beat raped. I have never talked to you and your rapist doctor. I had injuries, and I had documented injuries from my doctor. And I have police in an FBI case. You want to say you were the ones hurting me? I'll warn you. How dumb are you? See, my doctor said, like the guy said outside my clients. We actually got the name of the office that did this. They're so dumb. They said, we thought we'd finished destroying. You put your nail in the coffin. They sent a letter. This is a crime within itself. To my doctor's office. That some office hired a psychiatrist on their own. What does the law say? No doctor can treat you without your consent. Written consent. Can't hire a doctor on their own. Then wrote up a big bunch of fraud. And then broke the law and sent it to my doctor. I never signed for treatment. I didn't sign for consent to them to send it. There's HIPAA violations here. And fraud. You're not my doctor. You can't say a word about me. You can't even look up my medical records. I didn't sign for consent for you to treat me or consent for you to pull them and consent for them leaving. That's stealing documents. See, these people are breaking big federal crimes. I was talking to the girl that did my nails. She said, what, did a bunch of crackheads do this? I said, that's what I call them. She said, it's so illegal. It's ridiculous. I know. Thank you for telling on yourself that the doctor wasn't one of mine before, but works for them, and they lied, and you said who hired them. Dummies. And these people, well, they verified everything for Will. Bill from the Freemasons, the one that's trying to get in the drug cartel that everybody's laughing about their scam. Like he's God. What are you going to verify? You're part of a drug scam? Of people lacing drinks, stabbing me with needles, beating, raping me? You want to say you're part of that? Oh, last night, that idiot in my old apartment, Mommy Dearest, hear him outside. We heard they taped John saying that no one could say anything bad about him. And they already got their pediatrician, they're his doctor. And the kid's doctor, that nobody was ever harmed. And there was never any abuse or mistreatment. I know. Well, they also have Mel's kids saying they're lying for Auntie Cheryl and Papa. Well, they were talking about that too. Those kids making up that stuff, they had them taped too. Because they wanted that girl to get that house. Do you realize how not funny this is? Yeah, I know. Trying to pull a fast start scam on me. See where they lied on Danny and Jen that they reported it? The shower scene the other day, they didn't know it. They lied on them. They lied on everybody. And they act like that Bill from the Freemasons is such a god. Oh, but they verified it for Will. The one running the scam. That just makes you an accessory. See, where I had a dog bite, I called an attorney. Because I got bit up really bad. And it hurt bad. Okay? I called them. They said, well, you got to have all this before we can even open a case. Did you go to the hospital? Yes. Did they document all the injuries? Yes. I took pictures of them too. Okay. Said, did you call the police? Yes. I even emailed them. Need a copy of the email and when you called. Did they notify the dog warden? I said the emergency room did. I am going to need a signed consent to get that emergency room report. And that where they sent it to the dog warden. Okay? Now you proved injury. Got to prove responsibility. They got to say another dog did it. I said, well, have I eyewitness? That don't mean anything. They could just be saying it. I said, well, another neighbor seen me before I pull out, sitting outside our house. That still don't prove responsibility. I called my boss right out there. My Phone dinged when after it happened. Still don't. You have to have physical proof that person or that animal did it. I said, well, if you want 100% proof where it bit my arm, sunk its teeth through my jacket, my shirts, and left a imprint of its teeth, and I got holes in the jacket, I got its DNA where it latched on. She went, now you proved it. She said, you have to have all that or you can't even open a case. You just can't say something. You have to prove it. Injury. You got to prove the person did it. And it's not just saying. There has to be proof of an injury. It has to be documented by a doctor, hospital. Police have to be called. It has to be, and then an investigation. Then you have to prove with physical evidence the person did it. Or you have nothing. You know that old thing, no body, no crime? I had a client's neighbor, creepiest thing, came over with a big knife, sat it down, said she killed someone. I'm like, I don't believe you. I said, when? And she's saying, when and where? I said, who else was involved? She starts giving names. I said, I don't believe you. Said how she was in Arizona. They took this guy out to a desert. They held him down. She slit his throat, and that was a murder weapon. I'm like, I don't believe you. Got her out in the car by herself. Taped her admitting to that crap. Turned in the cops. I know they already got it with my legally tapped phone. The investigator showed up, said she's crazy. There was nobody missing at that time and no body found. They ever find a skeleton with a indentation that his throat was slit, she's toast. But no body, no crime. You just can't say it. There was nobody missing at that time and no body found. See what I mean? You just can't say it. You have to have proof. You can't just roofie somebody and tell somebody to say something and say, oh, hey, I'm going along with the roofie. You said there's endless amount of money. Go along with the rocks again. See, that's where Melissa's mean jokes. Nobody went to the hospital. There was no pictures of any kind of injury. No police were called. The police were already there. And the FBI. They were already there. At the corner, watching them all say they were lying, laughing for the girlfriend to get the house. Her telling the kids to lie for the girlfriend to get the house. Kids stating they wanted the house with the girlfriend and Pebble. And they were making all this stuff up and laughing, sick shit in the basement. Like they said, how sick is this? Karen's risking her life to get information on these people. She's almost died and they're sitting around laughing, making up stuff on her. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I know. See, that's why, since they were mean jokes and they're sitting around laughing, just trying to, like they said, they're just trying to scare her to give up the house. Nobody went to the doctor. Nobody went to the hospital. There was no pictures of anybody being hurt. No reporting of anybody being hurt. Because they were mean jokes. The cops weren't called. Cops were already there. Watching almost sitting around lying. That's why you just can't say it. You got to prove it. And then you got to prove the person did it. And with physical evidence. And since it was mean jokes, that's all it was. Where they came up, Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's so stupid, she didn't check where you were. That's where the investigators talked to those kids. They even said the only reason why they honestly didn't like her, she told them to take 2 bites of their food. They treated me like a servant. Put the food in front of them. Now you can throw it out. You can take 2 bites for a good boy. That's why we don't like you. Get it? Now, do I think it's funny where they would laugh in my face in front of the police, the prosecutor's office, the feds? They drugged you and told you to say this. They drugged you and told you to say that. They photoshopped the shower scene in the other room to make it look weird. I used to run and puke or have diarrhea. Now it just makes me mad. I want you to think about this. It makes me mad. And then they run around. Oh, there's endless amount of money. There's no money. They're lying to you. They're scamming you. Oh, they verified it for Will like he's God and he's the one running the scam. How stupid would you be? You're part of a drug beat rape and a scam on somebody? Nobody ever went to the doctor for injuries. Nobody. No, there was no police investigation. There was nothing. Because there was nothing. They're scamming people. Oh, we can steal her money. We've drugged her and told her to say it before. No, you can't. Oh, they verified it. No, you did not. Like Danny didn't know. He was supposed to be the one reporting. He didn't know nothing. They had framed him. Nobody verified anything for that bastard. What are you going to verify? You're part of a scam? You got to have proof. Emergency reports. Doctor's reports. Police call. Then physical evidence the person did it. You can't just say it or roofie somebody. Oh, they'll verify the roofie. That means nothing but they're accessory to the roofie. In the scam, you have to have actual evidence. And there is none. Because they were mean jokes. And that other shit that I found out, he was drugging me up and telling me to say, oh, you hurt people. I don't hurt anybody. Oh, you're a weirdo. I'm not the weirdo. You're a weirdo. You flash people. I do not. See what I mean? Playing games. Realize he's scamming everybody. Oh, there's endless amount of money. There's no money. He lied. He's scamming you. Try to act like there's endless money and there's nothing. He scammed you. Where the big prize is endless amount of money and there's nothing there. Just like they verified the drugs and told us, say it for Will like he's God. He's a scam artist. He ain't nothing but a piece of shit and an ugly man. Scamming people. And it sounds funny, but it's not. I was telling that girl that was doing my nails about him. And I said, you know, people would say around me, we all know Will holds Karen at night. Tell me that ugly man didn't rape me. I'm not being funny. I've never talked to him, only seen a glance of him. He's not a handsome man. Please tell me that ugly man did not rape me. We all know Will considers Karen his girlfriend. I've never spoke to him. Him, his doctor friend, his attorney friend, running drug scams on their own on people, trying to railroad them with drug confessions and photoshopping and washing in their own drug scams. This is his initiation into the Texas drug cartel. May 26, 25, the cartel, the Florida shows up. The cartel's tired of Bill from the Freemasons and his scam on the dirty doctor from before not being one of hers, works for them, and they lied. Heard they were making fun of all this in Summit Mall. I know. And who does Bill think he is? I'd like to know that too. That other cartel, thinking they can have Bill from the Freemasons threaten Michelle? They're not the one. That's running it. We are. Do they want more? Michelle says she's really nice, even told her how to take care of herself. The Texas group, Briggs, they dismember people. According to a retired CIA agent, they've killed both FBI and CIA agents. It's like, Michelle, get to an FBI office, police department, mention the case, get a hold of Agent John, Officer Mark, Officer John, get a hold of somebody in the case, and you got information on that other group, they'll flip you. You know where they're holding people? That's gold to them. 95% of the people in the witness protection program are criminals. They race out their whole past. Can never be tried for it. Get money every month to live on for the rest of their life for witnessing against that other person. Even writing up a testimony. Even tell them how to get information on them. Pay for the living, housing expenses, and a medical card. And you can't be tried for any crimes you did before, and you stay in immunity so no one can touch you. So they can't get even with you for telling them. Because that little girl, I hope somebody's got a hold of her. Because like they said, the cartel said, oh, trust me, the cartel knows all the threats they put on Michelle. Michelle said she's really nice. She told her how to take care of herself. She's out of this. This is not her concern. And what we choose to do is not her. We don't want the other ones to know what we're going to do when we do it. Nobody say a word. She's out of this from now on. It's between us and them. Bill from the Freemason may be getting ready to start a drug war here between Texas and Florida. That's how bad this has gone. Agent John, enough is enough. You got the office. They sent a letter. That guy even said, they even know what office did this. That helped out with Bill. They can't do this on their own. They can't have a psychiatrist evaluate me that I've never even met and never even talked to. And write up a bunch of shit. Where they yelled out May 22nd, 25 on Walmart on West Texas. They hired a neuropsychiatrist. He said how he evaluates people. He drugs them up, tells them to say stuff, and then tries to get it out of them. He frames them and then tries to make them believe they've worked. That's how bad it is. He can't do that, and they can't do that. No, they can't. And it's not my psychiatrist. Don't have one. Right between the eyes. These people need a psychiatrist. They're textbook crazy. That lady that was outside my apartment with the police on May 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning saying all that crap, how she's trying to railroad Dixie and Melissa to jail. And wants to make sure I don't speak to them when she can actually get them to do something. And then I wouldn't be able to find a law to help them. You leave Dixie alone, she's just dumb. Trying to tell her she can have an endless amount of money. Trying to get her to extort money out of the FBI. Telling her she could do such a dumb thing. How dare you railroad that dumb girl and get her locked up for 25 years. It's called entrapment, bitch. When law enforcement tricks you into doing a crime you would never do on your own, you go to jail. Leave the Dixie alone. She's dumb. Melissa telling them the group of people they hired to do all those things to me, that the chief of police up there gets special permission for other people to break in people's homes. You know I'm breaking other people's homes. That's nuts. Watch them unaware cyber stalking? I don't think so. And have people break in and do stuff like drug beat and rape them? And the way they told her, it made total sense because she's a dingbat. Dear God, how does she function in life? You leave the dumb girl alone. And where I gave her permission on tape of saying that it was okay for her to tape me then and tape me before, of knowing about Melissa's mean games that pretend they were laughing about. And Dave breaking of the gunshot night. That even though I gave her permission and permission before on tape, that I can extort all kinds of money out of the government, you leave the dumb girl alone. You can't get money out of that. She gave me permission. Then she really doesn't have anything to say. Trying to get her 20 years in federal prison for trying to extort money out of the government. You leave that dumb girl alone. She don't have enough common sense not to be involved. You stop playing with dumb people. And stop lying to them they can commit crimes and they don't know any better. There's no way she could ever get money out of the government. You can't ever extort money out of the government. It's 20 years. And if she can steal that old man's money and when he dies, she won't have anything. He don't barely got enough money to pay his own bills. You leave him alone. He got big money when he had oil well near his property come in. His late wife gave it to her kids. When I met him, he had 80 grand. That was it. Bought himself a $25,000 truck, $10,000 in taxes, $5,000 a month for his wife's headstone that I had to help pick out because those ungrateful brats that his late wife gave that money to. They wouldn't even pick out their own mother's headstone. $5,000 for a set of teeth. He's got in time he paid another 10 grand in taxes. And he pays for the taxes on that farm of his. And the feed and the upkeep. And the utilities. He's got 10 grand. His whole big oil check was $2,500. Got the idea? Her two daughters, they gave their mom gave them 50 grand. Not counting what she gave her kid. Her other son. Her two daughters gave him 50 grand. And over the next year, took way over 25 grand each from him. Without the other son taking. In front of me, they took 4 grand and looked at him and said, "Is that all?" In one swoop. Made him cry. And soon as he told them no more money, they stopped having anything to do with him. They were coming over getting $1,200, $900, $2,000. And they drained him dry. I said, "Did they ever come visit you just to visit you?" No. They only came over for money. Brenda gave him all that big money when I first got it. She threw it at her kids. Get an idea? He's got 10 grand left. Got a whole $25 oil check. $2,500. $2,500. He only gets $1,200 in Social Security. Why do you think I work all the time? Huh? Why do you think I work all the time? You know, different months he gets different amounts. It used to be better last year. His kids were still coming over getting money. And some neighbor was taking almost $2,000 a month from him. Had to put a stop to that one too. And, you know, she used to go out to eat with us, come over and have breakfast. And soon as he wouldn't give her any money, she didn't want her friendship. She didn't even want the free food. She just wanted that man's money. Threw the biggest fit because she couldn't have his money. Because he's nice, they walked all over him. It's like you leave him alone. Told you, when I showed up here, I think he had 70 or 80 grand. That was it. His late wife gave it all to her kids when she was alive. And then they, over the next year, came and drained him almost every month. 4 grand, 2 grand, 5 grand. Until they almost took it all. They told me he was a millionaire. I'm like, Carl, you have me out working for $14 an hour and you're a millionaire? He said, I'm no millionaire. Where are they getting that one from? Boy, are they telling a big one. He said, I have that kind of money, you wouldn't be working at all. See what I mean by people making up stuff on people? You know, there's no endless amount of money. That bill from the Freemason lied. Just like his late wife's kids thought my husband was this mega rich guy, and he's not. They made it up in their own minds. Because the money he got from the first settlements, from where they opened the oil wells close to his property, their mother gave it to him. Gave his money away to her kids. See what I mean? And then they just came over and drained him and drained him and drained him until he had very little. Get the idea? These people are where they keep telling you they made everything up. They did. But they really hurt me. They really exploited. Oh, they have the name of the office with a dirty doctor. That was a dumbest mistake. They've been looking for who actually did this. Sending that fraudulent letter to my doctor from an office hiring a psychiatrist on their own. You can't evaluate somebody without signed consent. You never even talk to the person, and you're writing out fraud. They have my rapist's name. That was the dumbest mistake. Oh, we're going to finish destroying you. You put your nail in your own coffin.